welcome back to the vlog. It's been over a year since I posted a video for you all. I thought it would be a good idea if I just gave you a year in review, everything that happened last year. In January, I was living in LA and really enjoying it. I got offered a contract with Royal Caribbean to go for 7 months on the brilliance of the seas. And I took the contract. I was really excited. It was kind of a whirlwind. I was a late hire, so I packed up my whole apartment, and my dad helped me move all my stuff home, and I flew out to Florida for rehearsals. We were there for a month rehearsing. Everyone else was there a little bit longer, but since I was a late hire, I was only there for about a month. And then on February 28th, we boarded the Brilliance, and we had a couple weeks of install, and then we were off and running, doing our shows and traveling and experiencing what the brilliance of the seas had to offer. We started in the Caribbean, and we were there for a couple months, and then we crossed the Atlantic and spent most of the summer in the Baltic, and it was beautiful. I'd never really been outside of the States before, so it was a really awesome experience to go and see so much of Europe. I was able to visit several countries, and I'll never just remember them, so I wrote them down. England, Russia, France, Ireland, Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, Estonia, Finland, Norway, and I swear there's like a couple more in there, but that's what I could remember from my list. So that's just a quick list of where we were able to travel. And on the crossing back, it was a 2-week cruise crossing back. My parents were able to come and be with me on the ship while we crossed back. They had their own cabin, and it was really nice to have them at the end of the trip. And they did the crossing back with me, and then I had one more cruise up the northern eastern coast. So Boston, Halifax, Portland, Maine, Prince Edward Island, all along there, just a nice cruise up and down there. And then I came home. I know that's like squishing 6 and 7 months all into one big thing, but I was there through September, and then I got home I think September 28th or 29th, and I've kind of been home but traveling a lot since then. So in October I got used to being home, just hung out at home and picked up some work here and there. I was working teaching and substitute teaching for an arts high school just down the road, and doing some mystery dinner theater. Yeah, just kind of picking up odd stuff. Oh, and then hopping back in and helping my grandma with her book, Authentic Bel Canto. So that was nice to get back into that. I had done some work while I was on the ship, but it's kind of hard to really do work while I'm there. So that was that. Yeah, and then in November, I did some traveling, seeing family. I went for the week before Thanksgiving. I went up to Washington State to visit my brother Creed and his wife Sharisa. Sharisa had just had a new baby and was recovering, feeling sick, feeling tired. She was having trouble with her back, making it really hard to walk, and just in a lot of pain. So I just went up to help for a little bit, and then went straight from the Portland airport. They live really close to Portland, but they're in Washington State. I went from the Portland airport and flew out to Maui to see my sister Emily for Thanksgiving. I've never been to Hawaii before, so it was really exciting and fun, and we had Thanksgiving dinner with her friends, and we hiked. We went on a midnight hike, and we drove the road to Hana, and we hung out on the beach, and I helped her with some of her work, and she owns a cake business out there. She's the owner of Cake Fanatics. She does custom cakes for weddings and big events. Yeah, so we had Thanksgiving out there, and that was the bulk of November, just kind of traveling around and celebrating the holidays and being with family. And then in December, I was home for a couple weeks, and then my sister-in-law in Washington was still feeling really sick. And it was looking like they weren't going to be able to come to Utah for Christmas. So we all kind of were trying to figure out what to do, and they weren't sure if they were going to be coming or not. And I offered to go up and be with them for Christmas. It would be better for some family to be together there if I could be with them, and then some family to be here, than to have just one of our siblings be isolated. So we made that plan, and just a couple days before I was flying out there, I went with my mom up to Idaho to watch my other siblings' kids, my brother Eric. While we were there, just before I flew out to Washington for Christmas, we got the news that Sharissa was diagnosed with cancer. Creed had taken her into the hospital, and so she was being tested for stroke symptoms, and that's when they found the cancer. So before I left, that was the day before I was supposed to fly, my dad got a ticket that day and flew out there, and I went just the next day, and we were there with them. And as the days went by, all of our other siblings and my mom were just discussing whether or not they wanted to come to Washington for Christmas. And at first it seemed like it'd be too much to have everyone come. It'd be too much of a change and too much craziness. But Sharissa really wanted everyone to be able to come if they wanted to come. So we just rearranged Christmas, and everybody went to Washington, and we made some plans to help them from far away, and we did all the family stuff up there together, and we had a different but a really nice Christmas. So she just started, well, she was in radiation for most of January, and then she just started at the end of January chemo. So she's doing her chemo right now, and it's a really serious cancer, but we have a lot of hope for her, and we're excited to be there for them as much as we can. But it is hard. It's hard. But if you want to know anything about her story, you can visit her website at sharissalarson.com. There's a link in the comments, and yeah, you can go check out the blog. She's putting updates up, and we're helping her do that, and there's also a GoFundMe page. It's a pretty big financial burden to have cancer. So we've been really blessed to have so many people care and reach out, and thank you to all of you who have donated and made an effort. We really appreciate it. And we're praying for her every day that things work out. She's mother of 5, so, and 1 newborn, so it's a lot to take in. But yeah, that was the bulk of December, and then this January, I've been back and forth to LA, just figuring out a place to live, wanting to move forward, wanting to go and continue working and getting work and everything. There's been a little bit of drama about finding a place, but I think that's normal for moving. My moving is always stressful, but I think I was able to find something temporary. I'm staying at a house. I had a friend who got in touch with me. He manages this large house, and that it's month to month, which is perfect, and it's just several rooms that are rented out month to month. So I'm gonna go and stay there for a little while. I'm not able to have my cat there, which is hard for me because I love her, and also a little bit of a burden on my parents because they're watching her when I can't. So I'll just be staying in this house for a couple months, and as long as it takes me to feel comfortable financially getting my own place, and then I can be there and find my own place. So that's the plan right now, or I'll just stay there until another opportunity to gig around makes itself available, or possibly until just after July, when in July I'm going to the Nats conference for Authentic Bel Canto to represent the book, and then after that I was considering possibly doing another cruise contract, or if I'm just like rolling in the dough, then maybe I'll stay home, but we'll see. So anyway, I feel like that's it. I feel like that's all the stuff. I know I missed a whole year of telling you my innermost secret thoughts, but I'm excited to be getting ready to go back to LA. I'm spending this week packing and moving and going, and it's the least fun part, actually going through all your junk and getting it ready and headed out. So, and driving there, which is just, it's such a long drive, but I can do it. Yeah, so I'm kind of excited to get going, but thanks for watching, and thanks for being a part of the little journal blog, video blog thing, and I hope that you're well, and if you know me well enough to be listening to this whole thing, I know that you would probably be willing to at least send me good vibes, or pray for me. I've been going through a lot emotionally in the last few months with my sister-in-law being sick, and also just some other personal stuff. It would mean a lot to me if you have a second to just send me a prayer or good thought or two. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna head out. Oh, keep your eye out for, in the next couple weeks, I'm gonna be releasing a song called Aloha that we're editing the video right now. I was able to get some really great footage with my sister Emily while we were out in Maui. It's a song that I wrote for her, and it's actually going to come out right around Valentine's Day. We haven't set an exact date of release yet, but in the spirit of being single, I'm going to release a love song for my sister. So, yeah, keep your eye out for that. It's going to be splashed across the social media-ville. And thanks for watching, and have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.